Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Honda has won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand in the last decade. And now you can add another one to the list, being named the best car brand of 2022. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siega Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start another edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours. We start today's show with deja vu all over again at the Louisiana legislature. Think back to the last session, and one of the most controversial bills to pass would allow adults in our state to carry a concealed weapon without a permit or training. That bill, vetoed by Governor John Bell Edwards, has now received new life. Representative Danny McCormick pushing the bill, saying, quote, people can already open carry without a permit and any kind of training. There's no instances. Honest, law-abiding citizens are responsible with their rights. As you might imagine, there was some Democrat pushback to this bill. One of those in particular, Representative C. Denise Marcel from the capital city, voting against the bill, said her biggest issue is taking away the education around guns and the negative consequences that it could have for young adults. Quote, I do not like allowing people to carry guns without permits and without education. And so he's removing that from it. It allows people to carry concealed. I think it's detrimental to public safety and law enforcement, and that's why I voted against it. It is one of those issues where if you look at it from both sides, you can see merit to each argument. But at the end of the day, with crime being what crime has become, any measure that gives ordinary Louisianians the opportunity to defend themselves and their loved ones, we need to seriously look at. And let's be honest here, guys and girls. The fact of the matter is, the criminal element doesn't care about a permit for a weapon. The criminal element doesn't care about gun safety education and the responsibilities of responsible gun ownership. They simply don't care. And again, with the situation being what the situation has become, people should have the right to defend themselves without having to jump through endless hoops just to realize that constitutional right. We obviously are going to keep an eye on this bill as it continues to work its way through the process, and any notable developments that occur, we will be sure to pass those along to you and yours. Speaking of deadly violence, the whole city continues to mourn the loss of a 3-year-old, Devin Page Jr. By all accounts, just simply in his bed, sleeping. Miscreants carry out a drive-by shooting at the house next door. An errant bullet comes through the home of Devin Page Jr., striking him in the head and killing him. It is as sad a story as you will ever encounter. And Mayor Broome, in addressing recently this issue, said, quote, "I believe that there has to be a better outcome for young men and boys who are the same color that I am, black men and boys. I believe there's a better outcome beyond the grave or prison. At this moment, our community needs to refocus beginning Good Friday. I'm calling for a week of peace. Week over week, community members will join in planning activities of hope, but there's a small percentage that still continues to choose violence." We talked about a week of peace, and we will take some demonstrative action to encourage the week of peace. We will have people all through our communities during that week to help elevate peace, to help continue to communicate a message of peace through our communities. When questioned, when pressed on this, the mayor answered, quote, "It's regrettable that unfortunately things happen, and it causes and prompts all of us to look at this situation of violence and gun violence at another level. And what happened to this young 3-year-old in their bed was a tragedy, and it certainly should prompt everyone to want peace and to be an advocate for peace in their community." Mayor Broome, with all due respect, Madam Mayor, we need a whole lot more than just this. Folks that are members of the community of faith, you understand this wholeheartedly. I, like a lot of people, are of the opinion there's nothing God loves more than seeing us on our knees communing with Him, thanking Him for His blessings, asking what we will, praying for other people. But I also believe God gave us 2 feet to stand on when we get off our knees. And I found it somewhat troubling that through all of the comments regarding this tragic murder of a 3-year-old, in none of these instances did I hear my mayor put her foot down about holding these folks responsible and doing whatever needs to be done to get these idiots off our streets. Praying for peace, I have no problem with that, none whatsoever. But at the end of the day, the criminal element doesn't care. At the end of the day, we need to send a message that we've had enough of this, and we are now moving in a direction of no holds barred when it comes to arresting and holding accountable individuals that care so little about human life. In recent memory, I've lost track of the number of drive-by shootings. I've lost track of the number of people shot. I've lost track of the number of babies murdered. So, to pray for a week of peace has its place. But we need more than this, Mayor. We need more than this. We need you to step up and step out and let these miscreants know that you are going to marshal every resource available to city parish government and law enforcement to fix this problem. The family, not to mention the 3-year-old himself, Devin Page Jr., deserve better. They deserve better than this, Mayor. And if we're not sick and tired of being sick and tired just yet, then what in God's name are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? And I almost let it slip out, Marty. You know the old saying, stuff rolls downhill. Well, this needs to start from the top. It needs to start from the top. And pussyfooting around the issue is not helping anyone. Rest assured, our young people pay attention. They know what's going on, and they are aware that for whatever reason, the powers that be still either are not taking the issue seriously or don't have the political backbone to implement measures to stop it. Pure and simple. And at the end of the day, it's where we live, y'all. Now, if you are one of those that is satisfied with the quality of life in your community, I'm happy for you. If not, you should demand better from the mayor as well. Just saying. Just saying. We are heading up to our first break of today's show. Let me get this one out of the way. When we come back, I guess we could term this segment Not a Good Look. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-30, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Perfect for the journey ahead.
Start your journey in a new Mazda CX-30. Right here at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. You could probably categorize this under the heading, not a good look. The Capital Area Transit Organization, better known as CATS, has had more than their fair share of controversy recently. CEO Bill DeVille was ousted this week after it was learned that all sorts of irregularities had been taking place at CATS. Numerous investigations over the years, forcing the CATS board this week to oust Bill DeVille as the CEO. It is interesting and somewhat telling that 2 days after this decision was made, the board still can't tell us where he's being reassigned to and why they justify allowing him to continue to collect his salary of $200,000 a year. We all have heard over and over again about CATS and the problems that exist in the capital city's public transit system. It's, for a lot of people, contentious because an agency with a $30 million a year budget is not supposed to go through things of this sort over and over and over again. And when brought to light and someone is removed, quote unquote, from their CEO position, they still are allowed to collect a $200,000 a year salary. Now, I don't know about where you work. I don't know. Don't think I've ever been there. But my gut tells me if the CEO where you work, making whatever figure, 200 grand a year, was found to be responsible for all these irregularities, moved to another position within the company, I doubt they would still make the same salary. What's even more interesting, Dewana Williams, appointed as the interim CEO, said it best, quote, "We would like to see Bill DeVille move on from the bus system. We don't need two CEOs." Right. I know what you're thinking. Clarence, you and that doggone common sense. It never fails you. Why do we need two? And obviously, if he's being removed from that position, why is he still allowed to collect $200,000 a year? It is yet another instance of the folks at Katz being unable or unwilling to do right by the taxpayers. You would think that with all the consternation surrounding this agency, they couldn't move fast enough to rectify any problem that might rear its ugly head and make that agency look even worse to many people that have watched this debacle over the years. And yet, they continue to fumble their way right on through it. Personally, I think it's time for a full house cleaning at Katz. Because when all is said and done, let's be honest, $30 million a year in the grand scheme of things is not a whole lot of money. But the fact of the matter is, it's the taxpayers' dollars, pure and simple. And say what you will about the responsibility or the irresponsibility of individuals when dealing with other people's money. But the fact of the matter is, and maybe this has just become a part of who we are as Americans, when all is said and done, it shouldn't matter what the company that you work for is doing. All that should matter to you is that you show up on time, you give an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, and when all is said and done, you do the best you can do, not because it represents the company you work for, but because of what it says about you as an individual. Of course, now, with $30 million a year of taxpayer funding, a lot of other folks might tend to disagree with me. Just saying. Just saying. We, in other quasi-political news, we now know that what we thought was a simple resignation because of personal matters may well be more than what we thought it was at first. Former head of the Louisiana Democrat Party, Karen Carter Peterson, shocking legislators recently, announcing her resignation. Now, to her credit, Karen Carter Peterson was upfront with us, has been upfront regarding her personal battles with depression and a gambling addiction. It's well documented. We all know that. And of course, in the announcement, she focused primarily, well, almost solely, on her own mental health and mental well-being after dealing with these struggles. I think as a Louisianian, as an American, we all know of someone who has struggled with their demons. We all know this. We've seen it countless times. So most of us, upon hearing her resignation, and this is regardless of what side of the political aisle you reside on, we wished her the best. Because, again, we all have family members, loved ones, friends, co-workers that battle through very differing issues in their lives. But shortly thereafter, 1 day minimum, 2 day maximum, we find out that the feds not Louisiana, the federal government is currently having an ongoing investigation into alleged improprieties related to Karen Carter Peterson. Now, when all is said and done, y'all, we as Louisianians relate to the fact that America is supposed to be the land of second chances. I hear pastors all the time say, you know, I'm so glad that God gave me another chance. I'm glad he gave me a second chance. Well, I'm glad he's given me a second, third, fourth, fifth, and just keep on counting. But at the end of the day, we're a whole lot more forgiving when we get the truth up front. Understanding, listen, y'all, we're all human. We all do stupid stuff. We all make bad mistakes. But fortunately, we live in a country where people are forgiving, provided, that is, you're upfront with them when dealing with the issue. This, in no uncertain terms, caught everyone completely off guard. I mean, she's been a mainstay, a fixture in politics in Louisiana, and to a little lesser degree on the national stage as well. So when the news broke, we all kind of automatically sent out our best wishes that she's able to deal with this problem, so on and so forth. But now to find out one day later, see what had happened was there's actually a federal investigation going on. Well, now you start to look at this thing in a different light. Let me say for the record, y'all, as someone who's been there and done that, I hope the best for her. I truly do. But that in no way, shape, or form negates holding her responsible for things she may have done as a high-profile politician. We're going to keep an eye on this, see where it all goes. Many sources, most sources, very tight-lipped about this investigation. Now, granted, it is ongoing, so there's only so much info that we will be privy to. We'll just keep an eye on it and see how it all works out. Bottom of the hour break. I had last night a reawakening, a confirmation, reconfirmation of what it means to be an American. I'll leave you with this tease as we head to the break. You could probably classify this next segment as wrong place, wrong time, doing the wrong thing. We'll talk about that next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Driver assistance technology comes standard on every Camry model as part of Toyota Safety Sense, setting the standard for safety every time you're on the road, no matter the destination. Save on your Camry today at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. The following segment could probably best be categorized by two things. One, a reconfirmation for yours truly last night of what it means to be an American, a real, honest to God American. The other would be wrong place, wrong time, doing the wrong thing. WNBA star Brittany Griner, you've probably heard the story, playing on an international team in Russia, of all places, gets arrested at an airport for bringing in, allegedly, vaping cartridges with cannabis oil. Don't know how many of you are aware of Russia's approach to drug abuse. I can sum it up by using a phrase from the streets. It ain't no joke. Additionally, Russia has historically done everything within its power to stop the onslaught of the LGBTQ plus MNOP, whatever other alphabets they've added since yesterday, in their country. She has been playing in Russia since 2015. So conventional wisdom would say, well, she's got to know what the rules are. I'm sure the WNBA, the team she plays for in Russia, sat her down early on and said, okay, this is how we're different from the country where you live. If you do this, it's going to be a problem. If you do that, oh, that's going to be a problem. If you do the other, Lord, you're going to be in trouble. So it's not as though she shouldn't have known what was going on. Russian officials have now announced that they have pushed back her next court appearance until May. Now, for the record, the charges that she faces could lead to 10 years in prison. You might remember late 2020 when professional athletes from any number of sports all decided not to honor our nation's song. 2020, all these athletes came out and refused to either leave the locker room and stand reverently for the playing of the anthem, take a knee, whatever, all in showing their solidarity with others seeking racial equity, racial justice, fill in the blank with the latest Johnny-come-lately statement. Brittany Griner was one of those leading the charge, saying, I'm not going to stand for the anthem, and I'm not going to stand for the whole season. I don't care what happens. We need to take a stand, and, you know, obviously the inference here, America is such a racist place, how could you expect black people to stand for the national anthem? You know where this is going, right? You know where this is going. So now, all of a sudden, folks on the left, it looks like you're right, but remember, everything you see is reversed on TV. Now, all these folks on the left want the government to step in and bring Brittany home. Now, for 40 plus years of radio and TV, I have never once lied to y'all. Never once. And I don't plan on starting today. I'm going to be honest with you. Last night when I read this, people that are members of the community of faith know that we believe there are two beings within us. There is the center man, the inner man, our natural human nature, and then there's the spiritual side of us. I'm going to be honest with y'all. First thing that popped into my head last night was good, let her rot. Let her rot. And maybe now she'll have a greater appreciation for the country that allowed her to make a very, 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 very comfortable living playing a child's game, basketball. Maybe now old Lady Liberty is starting to look pretty darn good to Miss Brittany Griner, you think? Now that was my initial reaction. Let her rot. Then the spiritual man said, all right, look over here. You do realize, this is spiritual man talking to my brain, you do realize that buried in the bowels of the Constitution is the phrase, it's America. You got a right to be a moron. As much as I despise what she did, she's still an American. As distasteful as I found her antics to be, in having a realistic conversation with myself, I had to admit, people died, gave their lives, so that she could be the moron that she wants to be in this country. And as an American, I have to stand for that. People look at me sometimes and say, Clarence, how could you defend David Duke's right to speak publicly? You know what he stands for. You know what David Duke feels about black people. How could you conceivably defend his right to say these things? It's because I'm an American. Remember, in the fine print, it's America. You got a right to be a moron. People died so you could be a moron. People died so you could refuse to stand for our national song. People died so that you could make a comfortable living playing a child's game, all the while disrespecting all of the American freedom-loving public that comes to your games. It is one of those many small things that makes you appreciate more than ever the freedoms and the liberties that we have here. Now, the media, mainstream media, and don't leave out social media, they've taken the usual course on this. Well, it's because she's black. Oh, wait, no, it's because she's gay. That's why they arrested her. No, they arrested her because she's a freaking idiot. You should have known the rules. International travel, another country, you go there, get caught, allegedly, and now all of those with the same persuasion as you want the government to bring Brittany home. I would like to say the conversation was a long one, because y'all know, growing up in a military household with my father serving in the United States Army for 27 years, you already know where I stand on loyalty to my country. If not, well, you know now. So there was a part of me that says, all right, let her rot. She knew better. She flaunted it. She got caught, and now she's got to pay the price. But at the end of the day, she's still an American. And as I am so fond of saying, buried deep in the bowels of the Constitution is the phrase, it's America. You got a right to be a moron. Problem for her is that she's not in America anymore. We're going to keep an eye on this and see where it goes. But it is just so hypocritical of those on the left that would push this agenda to now want the government to bail her out. Word to the wise. Don't mess around in Russia, y'all. Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show. When we come back, I want to talk about a story that you better get now, because it's going to disappear real quick. Maybe faster than any other in recent memory. And you probably know why. That's next, when we come back to wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club. a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonCountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. What is your name, young man? Nicholas. Got a brand new friend. Stopped by one day here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live. And I hadn't figured out just yet how liberal or how conservative he is just yet. I'm reserving judgment on that. But he's a young man, and he's open to listening and entertaining different points of view. I love that. I love that. And as an American, there's nothing I hold more dear than individuals caring enough about the rest of the society they inhabit to at least look at things from a different light. Lets me know, maybe there is still hope for us after all. You know, this week, speaking of revealing things about our government and our country, another mass shooting event, this one in New York, by a guy with a history of mental problems. Frank James, not to be confused with brother Jesse James, arrested this week in the Brooklyn subway shooting. 10 people shot, another 13 injured. And of course, now that an arrest has been made, they've started trying to figure out what led this guy to do this. Well, he's got a rap sheet that dates all the way back to the 90s. But more important, his social media presence would tell anyone listening, and half of those that weren't paying attention, you could very quickly figure out this guy's a problem. When you're posting stuff on social media, quote, I got to be sure I read it ahead of myself because there's a whole lot of expletives that have to be deleted. Ranting about the coming race wars, gun violence, homeless people, outreach workers, etc., etc., etc. On YouTube, posting videos. One that says, quote, "They're white. You're not. They're doing that to each other. What do they think you're going to do? It's just a matter of time before these white MFs say, hey, listen, enough's enough. You, insert the N-word here, gotta go. What are you going to do? You're going to fight. And guess what? You're going to die. He also posted in another video, quote, I've been through a lot of, insert the S word here, where I can say I wanted to kill people. I wanted to watch them die right in front of my effing face immediately. But I thought about the fact, hey, I don't want to go to no effing prison. F that. I'm not going to no effing prison. I'm just not. He also posted another video, March 27, railing against homeless people in the New York subway system and Mayor Eric Adams. Quote, Eric Adams, what the, insert the word that follows there, what are you doing, brother? What's happening with this homeless situation? I get on the E-train, every effing car I went to was loaded with homeless people. And of course, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So conventional wisdom would lead a thinking person to ask, why did Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, why did they not flag this guy? Why was he allowed to post such vitriol, such hate, and encourage killing people? You know what's ironic here? Our government, in recent memory, could find the social media account of a parent who shows up at a school board meeting to protest stuff being taught to their kids. The FBI would categorize them as domestic terrorists. These same people can take and censor you for one word in your social media post that has nothing to do with killing people, nothing to do with your phobias, homophobic, misogynistic, whatever. They have no problem finding that. But here's a guy who has made no bones about the fact, I'm going to let everybody on the planet know who I want to kill, how much I want them killed, and how much I would enjoy killing them. And nothing happened to him. Now, you already know the drill, guys and girls. They, mainstream media, they, social media, they are going to go out of their way to, and obviously this guy's got some mental issues, they're going to go out of their way to paint this picture as just a disturbed, mentally disturbed individual. Did I mention the shooter was black? So obviously, Clarence, I knew you were going somewhere with this. Oh yeah, obviously, he is not the face that fits the narrative that they want to push. Now just imagine, and mark my words, you watch how quickly this story completely disappears from the public eye. But had it been a white guy wearing a red MAGA hat, oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, we'd be hearing about this for the next 10 years. Kind of makes you wonder what they're really concerned about and focusing on. You can find everybody's little tweet from years ago, whenever, what they said bad about the school board or the dog catcher or the sewer replacement board. But here's a guy ranting, raving over and over and over again about who he wants to kill, how much he would enjoy killing them, and how he would do it. And there was never a knock on his door. Just saying. Some of y'all ain't gonna get that till later. As long as you get it. When the government labels parents concerned with nothing more about what's being taught to their kids in school, and you label them a domestic terrorist, but this guy is allowed to just go on unencumbered about his daily life. To borrow a phrase from Shakespeare, something is rotten in Denmark. I know this ain't Denmark. Work with me. Work with me. Something is rotten in Denmark. Just saying. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Old School Barbecue is where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if you hadn't had some really good barbecue in a while, this is where you need to be. And you never know who you're going to run into when you walk through the door. Might be Kevin Gallagher, might be Roy Fletcher, might be Marty, might be Roger Cador, might be Jonathan Poche, Buddy Sanjay, Alan Traylor. God only knows who you might see when you walk through the door. Come on by. The staff would love to see you. They'd love to serve you. And aside from good food and good people, there's always good fellowship. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Make it a point. Come by and see us sometime soon. Well, that is going to do it for another week for us. Here is hoping that your weekend ends up being an absolutely fabulous one. Oh, and I almost forgot. Particularly those of you that are members of the community of faith, happy Resurrection Day to you and yours. For the rest of y'all that's wondering, what in the world is he talking about? Happy Easter. Y'all do realize that a bunny laying eggs has nothing to do with the greatest gift ever given to mankind. Google it. You'd be amazed at what you could find. Time's up and I gotta go, y'all. But once again, this day, just like any other, I give it to you. Oh yeah, you're right. America, we ain't perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, oh yeah, he loves you, and I do too. Best news you're gonna get all day. Ain't a doggone thing you can do about it, either one. We'll see you soon. God bless.